Hello everybody, what is up? Prof here, and today we're doing a bit of a new type of video. These ones are going to be basically talk about what games I'm currently playing right now. Of course, you know, with everybody being in quarantine and everybody kind of staying indoors, we've had, a lot more time for video games, so I'm going to go over just a few of the ones I've been playing as of recently. So first one off the list is one I actually just recently beat, which is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. Now that game, I've never actually played a Xenoblade game at all before. It was one that I've always heard like a ton of praise for. I think back when I had my Wii, I think I might have had like the copy for a short bit, and I tried at the very beginning. I'm like, oh, this seems decent. But of course, back then, the graphics were a little bit muddy, and it looked so-so. But then again, Nintendo really wasn't doing high definition back then. But with the whole new glow up that Nintendo gave it, it looks freaking great. It really shows off, how great of a job Monolith Studios did on that game. And it was definitely one, if you've never played a Xenoblade game, and if you've maybe just been on the fence of whether you should try it, I would say definitely recommend going and checking it out, because it is a great game, has a really good story, has a lot of good twists and turns in it, and the combat's different than your normal RPG, but I actually had fun with it. They use they do use positionals where you have some attacks where you need to be on the side, some attacks work better if the creature is stunned, some where you need to get attack from behind and everything. And it definitely works pretty well. They did add some good quality of life features, like the fact that if you die and stuff in the game, you would sit there and not have to redo the whole cutscene and all that. You would basically start at like one random point, and it's just basically like, hey, the boss is going to be waiting for you right there. So it was definitely a really cool game. I definitely had a lot of fun with it. Even after you beat the game, it's definitely, I felt it had a pretty satisfying ending. I definitely loved how they ended it. And even when you do finish the game, they got the DLC for Futures Connect, which actually takes place after you've beaten the game. You get an extra little adventure, which has a decent amount of hours to it. So definitely really good, definitely a really great value, especially because they added that extra bit of story in there for free. So like I said, if you have not played that one, I definitely highly recommend you checking it out. Alright, so next game on the list, we got Dragon Quest XI. Yes, this is the one for the Nintendo Switch, the Definitive Edition. So this has been another really fun one, because once again, this has been my first time actually playing a Dragon Age game. I know, it's weird. But yeah, so this is like my first time ever playing it. I originally had it on the PS4, played a little bit, but didn't actually go super far into it. And then also when I saw they were going to have a more definitive edition for the Switch, I'm like, well shit, I might as well do that one. And luckily they had a demo at the time, I think they still got it, that you could play a good few hours into it and basically get to keep that progress once you purchase the game. So this is one I got sometime last year. I finally, actually after Xenoblade, I thought to myself, okay, I need to go finish this game. So I've actually went through a lot of the missions and actually got through and finished the final boss. And of course I was saying, sweet, I finally beat it, yes. And then I kind of said, oh hey, by the way, our characters are going to be doing this, so to be continued. I'm like, okay, maybe there's just a little bit of side quest. But no, after you beat the game, there's actually still quite a bit to do. So basically, try not to give any spoilers for those of you who have not played the game, but you got a lot to do, because when I finished the game, I was about like level 50, 54 maybe. And yeah, you got, for one, you can get the Supreme Sword of Light at the end, which you gotta go look it up on, because there's a good list of stuff and different stuff you gotta get just to be able to forge it. Let alone, you probably want to be about, level 70 for some of the trials. Well, maybe like 65 for like a couple of them, then 70 for I think the third one, and then I'm currently at the point where even at like 70, 73, one of the trials, just to fight the main big boss of the end game, is you still got to pass these trials, and I'm stuck at the trials right now. So basically, I've been just grinding like crazy, just doing fights after fights, trying to level up the whole team. Luckily, the game, when you only have your specific party set, everybody else in your secondary party levels up along with you, so that's definitely good. So been pretty good grind quest with that. Basically just, yeah, trying to just level the shit out of everybody, hopefully getting to level 80, and hopefully that'll be enough to get me past the trial I'm currently doing. So definitely really fun game. It's definitely, like I said, if you into JRPGs and you've never tried Dragon Quest before, I definitely recommend picking up the Nintendo Switch version, because it does actually have extra bits in story for the characters. If you don't happen to have a Switch, of course it is available for PS4 and PC. Alright, so next game I'm playing is Seiken Densetsu, or Trials of Mana in the US. So that has been another game, once again. First time playing, of course, Seiken Densetsu was only a Japan only for a good while, unless you found somebody who translated the game. And basically, they released the original Super Nintendo version on the Mana Collection, and now we got the new remade version, which looks really great, really good in 3D, and it's definitely a pretty, I would say, a pretty fun action RPG. It's definitely very enjoyable, has a fun story, great combat. The only complaints I had right off the bat was the English voice acting. So like Dragon Quest, I played in English, I enjoyed it, it was fine. Same with like Persona 5 Royal back when I beat it. Like that one, the English voice acting was just fine. I had no issues with it, but I'm sorry, but Trials of Mana, the English voice acting was not the greatest. Like, they really, I don't know, I even tried comparing it myself, the English versus Japanese. Like the English one just sounds really freaking stiff, just sounds, I don't know, really emotionless. And then when I played it in Japanese, I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. They actually sound like they got some sort of emotions, like they're not just like really stiffly trying to do their lines. But besides, you know, griping about the voice acting and all that, it's definitely a really fun game. They give you plenty to do in the game, plenty of time, you know, of course, level up your characters, equip items, you know, upgrade your classes, because that definitely helps. And a funny story is, when I've been playing it for like a good while, like I got like a good chunks into the game, and the whole time I've been using special attacks and your basic attacks the whole time. All of a sudden, like, it's good, I don't know if I'm halfway through the game or not, but then I just barely realized that, holy shit, if I press up on the D-pad, I have freaking spells. Like, it was crazy. I'm just like going like, did I seriously just go halfway through the game without realizing I got spells? So to me, it's like both was like, God, I was so dumb. But it's also kind of funny because technically through a majority of the game, I kind of gave myself a handicap. So it was very interesting. But yeah, the game is definitely really cool. You get to choose about, you choose 3 different characters. The first character you choose is going to be the one that the main story revolves around. And then the other 2 characters that you do choose, they once you get to their part in the story, you actually get to still play their backstory, so you kind of know what's going on with them. And even through the gameplay, you're not stuck just playing the one character. The other 2 people on your team, you can switch through in battle, strategize, depending on how you want to do it. So it's definitely really fun. Has a lot of replayability. I definitely recommend, if you're a JRPG fan and you for some reason never tried this, or maybe you've only played the Super Nintendo version, definitely recommend checking it out, because it's definitely pretty true to the original Super Nintendo version. And it's just really cool seeing, you know, a classic JRPG, you know, brought to like, you know, modern graphics and everything. So definitely really fun and highly recommended. Alright, so next on the list, you guys might have already seen from me live streaming, is Hatsune Miku. So I've been playing the Project Diva Mega Mix on the Switch, and I've also been jumping back and forth between that one and Project Diva Future Tone. So it's definitely, if you were ever got into any sort of rhythm games or heard of any of the Vocaloid stuff, it is definitely a really fun rhythm game to try. I forgot, I think Future Tone's not too much. I think it's like 40 or 30. I forgot to check, but it's definitely a really cool one. I had a weird thing because the first time I streamed it on my channel, for the Switch version at least, I was really struggling with it. I don't know what it was, but for whatever reason, on the Switch controls, like the Pro controller, it just, I'm like, my timing is like way off for whatever reason. And then the Joy-Cons, they're okay, they work a little bit better, but I don't know, I had like a lot more issues because I noticed after playing the Switch version, I went, because I actually started, you know, venturing into doing hard mode, the hard difficulty when it came to the songs. on the Switch version. So all of a sudden I went back to Future Tone, was messing around with that. Then I'm like, wait, why am I all of a sudden freaking, good at these songs again? What the heck? So for whatever reason, the PS4 controller, I'm way better at the game with. And then the Switch one, I still need to work on it. Like, I'm thinking the Joy-Cons are a little easier, but I don't know. The Pro controller is decent, but the only problem is sometimes if you're going too quickly, the D-pad on it kind of will accidentally press the opposite direction that you wanted to press. So definitely some difficulties there, but it's definitely a highly fun game, highly addictive one if you do enjoy those type of games and everything. I do recommend probably Project Diva Future Tone, just because it has a good majority of the songs that the Switch version has, but it also has a more variety of songs, because the Switch one has like 140 something songs as far as I'm aware, and if you have the DLC and everything for Future Tone, you're looking at a good 238. So I would definitely say Future Tone is probably more of kind of like the definitive edition, just because purely of the whole song selection. But other than that, it's Mega Mix is definitely a pretty good one for Hatsune Miku on the go. I definitely recommend it. It's pretty highly fun. Alright, so next on my list is one that I got for really freaking cheap. So this next one is Sonic Generations. So I'm currently playing this one on the PC, and it's definitely a really fun one. I believe I had it on maybe the PS3 back when it came out, but I completely forgot how the game was and everything. So I was like, I saw it on Steam only because somebody on Twitter is like, guys, pick this game up now, because at the time the game was only basically $1, like $1 for Sonic Generations. And I was like, well, I mean, come on, you can't really beat that. It's a pretty damn good price for the game. So I started it up, and for those people who are classic Sonic fans, it is definitely a great game. Like, it really, pays homage to the original Sonic the Hedgehog games, as well as kind of like the classic Sonic Adventures games. So it was definitely really fun. Each level that they give you, they definitely take inspiration, or almost pretty much close to being exact, of the original Sega Genesis levels, as well as the levels being in both the original Genesis style and also the original Sonic Generation style, as well as the Sonic Adventure style. So it's really cool. You get to go through a story where Sonic gets put back in time, or I don't know, I forgot, this black hole just kind of sucks everything up, and then Sonic's kind of going through trying to find all his friends. And then I think along the way, his basically the classic Sonic will actually meet up with the current Sonic, and it's definitely a really fun adventure, especially if you're a big fan of those classic Sonic games. Definitely want to highly recommend. And at the time of making this video, you can still get Sonic Generations on Steam for about $1, which is, like I said, it's a great deal, and it's a highly fun game. So yeah, you can't really go wrong for $1, not gonna lie. But yeah, it's definitely really cool. I love how they actually made it so you can actually go through each level. You can sit there and switch between the new generation Sonic Adventure or the classic Genesis Sonic, and you can do the level 32-bit or the full 3D style if you want to. So whichever style you like, you can do the levels like that. So it's definitely a really fun game, and for people who played the old school Sonics back in the day, it's definitely really great. Alright, so another game on our list is Persona 4 Golden for the PC. Now this was actually a really cool one that took me by surprise, because of the fact that, for one, Persona 4 Golden was only available on the PlayStation Vita for the longest time. It was stuck on the handheld. Unfortunately, it didn't do well. I mean, the game did well, but the handheld just did not. So it's kind of stuck on the system that kind of just failed. But it was actually really cool that they kind of just surprised us, go like, hey guys, guess what? Boom, on PC, updated visuals and everything. So I was like, holy shit. And the graphics on the PC definitely make a huge difference, because just seeing the gameplay actually play out now, it's just like, holy shit, this actually looks crazy. Like, seeing it come from the Vita, there's even like, I think I noticed on one of the walls, there's a Persona 3 freaking poster hanging on the wall that we couldn't even tell before, because it was just kind of so blurred that you can kind of look at it as like, I think that's Persona 3? Maybe? I don't know, I can't tell. But yeah, it's definitely really cool. Of course, you can tell, some of the visuals, it was basically off of like a PS2 game and everything, then kind of ported onto a handheld. But all in all, with the the frame rates it's going at, and how it's running on the PC, it definitely looks really amazing. And it's one of those RPGs that's a freaking classic. So if you have not checked that one out, I highly recommend checking out Persona 4 Golden on Steam, because it's only 20 bucks and you'll definitely get your money's worth out of that, because it's a great game, has a great soundtrack, great story and everything. Alright, another game I actually just decided to start playing just for the hell of it was Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So that one actually took me off by surprise, because I've had it for a while, and then I think I saw somebody on Twitter talking about like how amazing the game is and this and that. I'm like, really? Metal Gear Rising? I always thought it did so, but it wasn't like anything crazy. So then I even looked up reviews on Steam and everything, and everybody's like, this is the greatest game. It appeals to the male fantasy. So yeah, it was definitely actually really surprising. I actually got a chance just to play a little bit of it, and just the beginning part was like, holy shit, this is actually fucking fun. It's pretty much like they took all the stuff that was great from Metal Gear Solid and just slapped freaking Devil May Cry gameplay on it. Because originally the game was actually, I think, almost going to be straight out just canceled, because the Hideo Kojima's team basically had this vision for it, but basically I think, if I remember correctly, they essentially just said like, yeah, the team's not competent enough to actually do the actual gameplay correctly. But then instead of just, ditching a project, they decided like, hey, let's bring Platinum Games on here and actually, try them out. And of course, Platinum Games being Platinum Games, freaking knocked it out of the park. And the game just has like a lot of freaking fun action, the quirkiness you would expect out of, Metal Gear / Platinum game. And the soundtrack's freaking awesome, really gets you pumped for the fight. So it was actually a really pleasant surprise. So I was definitely pretty happy with that. I was like, holy shit, did I really sleep on this game from freaking, what was it, 2012? I think it was 2013, or really, it's either 2013 or really late 2012 from what I remember. But yeah, I was just like really surprised. And right now, as of making this video, I think it should, at least till the 9th, I should have this video up before then. But it is, you can actually get it for like $7 right now on Steam. They have it on sale. So if you guys have never played that before, I definitely recommend checking it out, because it is actually a really freaking fun game. Alright, so last game on this list, this is another random one. So the next one we're looking at is kind of a rhythm game called Muse Dash. Now this is another one that I happened to get just because it was really cheap. I saw it for like, what was it? I think $2.40. It might still be that, I don't know. But basically I was like going like, I don't know. I kind of looked at it, I was like, alright, well the music sounds like something I'd be into, and it looks like an interesting kind of rhythm game. I was like, why not? It's $2.40. What am I going to lose? If I don't like the game, oh well, it's only $2. So I went and gave it a shot, and it was actually really fun. Like, a lot of the music's pretty cool. It's really just only 2 buttons, but you sit there and have to hit the notes, and it's actually, it gets pretty fun. They got different stuff you can unlock by leveling up in-game. They also have DLC you can get that adds like a ton more songs to the game. And yeah, it's just definitely a really fun little rhythm game. Definitely kind of one that took me by surprise. I was going like, oh, I was not expecting to actually like this much. It was one that I sit there and was constantly like going back, playing, then I'll go do something else, and just pop in for a quick couple of songs, this and that. Like I said, definitely really cool. So definitely one to check out. I think roughly, if you want to get like the full experience with it, you're looking at about probably $30 total, because you got to get the game that's like $260 something. I just looked it up real quick, and then the DLC that's like $26.99. So yeah, roughly about $30. So I mean, but in all, if you like rhythm games, you like, kind of like the J-pop or heavy techno type music or dubstep, then it's definitely a really fun game, and definitely one, if you're looking for something new, it's a pretty fun one to check out. But besides that, those are basically the current games I'm going through right now. Like I said, it's definitely, I'm hoping to, push through Dragon Quest and get leveled up enough so I can hopefully finish the last part. And because yeah, I've definitely sunk in a pretty good amount of hours. I'm not sure if I got as many hours as Persona 5 Royal, which I think I was at a good 130 at least. But yeah, I'm definitely getting up there at Dragon Quest, and Trials of Mana is probably the next one to beat. I still want to do Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at some point. But yeah, like I said, definitely with this whole lockdown and everything, definitely got plenty of time for it. So, that's about it for this video. If you guys did like it and you are new here, maybe subscribe to the channel. If you guys did like this video or were entertained by it, make sure to slap a like on this video because it definitely helps me know you like it. And for those of you who are also, you know, stuck in quarantine or just stuck at home, let me know what kind of games you guys are playing, what you've been doing recently. But besides that, that's it for this video. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.